Why settle for bland when you can be a flavor genius? Our spice blends are like little chemistry sets for your kitchen, except you won't blow anything up. From mild to wild, we've got the perfect spice to make your taste buds dance. Hit that subscribe button and let's turn up the heat without the lab coats. Hello, I'll be making Cajun stir fry today. It's a rather simple dish with only a few ingredients, a little bit of vegetable prep, but the rest of it is actually quite easy when we use the Cajun blend. I have sliced a few baby carrots. I'm going to slice a little onion. It won't even take a lot. And I'm going to slice only a half a rib of celery. Celery is pretty strong flavored, and I don't want to cover up the flavor of the chicken and the spice mix. Even though the spice mix is very piquant, the celery can still overpower. So I'm going to just take a few pieces of one rib. I do want the flavor, I do want the color, but I don't want that much flavor to overpower. I want to talk about Napa cabbage for a moment. It has glucosinophosphates in it, which repels insects, which means that they can use less pesticide, which is always a good thing. It also has an acid in it that extracts flavor from other foods, which is also a benefit. Now, it's kind of moot point here with the heat of the Cajun vegetables, or excuse me, the Cajun spices and vegetables, but it still has a nice flavor in and of itself. Now, Napa cabbage is almost two separate vegetables. The top few inches, as you can see, is only leaf, which cooks very fast, and in fact it eats raw very well. Napa cabbage is what is the primary ingredient in kimchi, actually. And so I'm going to actually cut off the top 3 or 4 inches and save that for a salad for my family tomorrow, and use more of the stem portion of the Napa cabbage today. So let me get all of my vegetable ready. And of course there's only 2 of us, so we certainly don't need a whole head. And as you can see, like I said, it's mostly leaf lettuce up at the top 3 or 4 inches. And so I'm going to cut that off and save that for a salad. Looks like a little brown. And I'm going to strip off some of this tougher, more fibrous vegetable for my stir fry. And that's plenty for how much I'm going to be cooking. Okay, now that I've got all my vegetable ready, I'm going to cut my chicken. I'm cutting one tenderloin of chicken, and I'm going to slice it very thin. Now, it's easier to slice very thin when it's partially frozen, but I don't have that blessing right now, so I'm having to cut the thawed out chicken. I've done this a few times, and I think I can strip this off very thin at best anyway. I'm going to go start my skillet now. It needs to be relatively hot for a true stir fry method. I'll be back. Now, towards the end of this cooking process, I'm going to be seasoning this with the Cajun flavor blend from Spice Road. Now, this is one of the things we need to understand is that most recipes, when you start calling for different spices, you may have a list of 5 or 6 or 8 or 9. There's actually 9 different ingredients in this mix. What happens is they say 1 teaspoon of this and 1/2 teaspoon of that and 1 tablespoon of that, and that sounds all well and good and gives you an approximation, but it's actually not necessarily completely balanced. We actually formulate our spices down to 1/10 of 1 gram. So things like cayenne pepper, which is extremely hot, is gradiated down to where it's balanced with the other peppers and the other flavors in there. There's garlic and onion in this as well, of course, and the cayenne and white pepper can get very bitey very quick, And a measurement of 1/4 teaspoon for one person is still not the measurement of 1/4 teaspoon for another, depending on the spice density and how the mix is, how the cook pulls out that measure of spice. We also use 60,000 Scoville cayenne pepper, which is standardized from batch to batch. So please understand that this isn't just a couple of jars of spice in your cabinet. This is actually a balanced flavor blend, and it comes in one package. I'm getting ready to cook now. I'm going to add a little oil into the pan, and I will start with the carrots because they are a little bit more dense than the celery and onion. Now, in just a little bit, because carrots actually can take a little bit of sugar, we even say about sweet carrots in our vocabulary from time to time. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar just to enhance the flavor of the carrot. The sugar actually also enhances the flavor of the onion. That's another one in our vocabulary talking about sweet onions. Okay, I'm going to add the celery and onion now. And I'm going to sprinkle in probably about 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Now we don't want that in so soon that it caramelizes, just the flavor. Okay, this is now sweated down and starting to clear on the onions. I'm going to add the chicken. Now I'm using a saute pan rather than a wok. My wok is too big actually, but the principle is the same. Hot skillet, hot wok, and move periodically so that it doesn't brown on any one side. We also want the vegetable to still be somewhat crisp. Okay, that chicken is done. I am now going to add some of the Share Cajun mix. This is a pretty hot dish, so I used about 1.5 teaspoons. Okay, let's plate this up and see what we have. And here we have it, Cajun stir fry. I would serve this with rice or long noodles, and I will when I feed my family. Thank you. Good day.